Alright, hi guys, welcome back to Duty's Daggers. We have some packages, two packages. One's a knife, and one's kind of a knife related thing, and I don't know which is which, so we're just going to open up both of them. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I think you'll really like it, and you might as well just go ahead and subscribe now. Thank you. Follow me on Instagram also, duties_daggers. More information on there. You know, you'll find out when the live streams are and all that good stuff. So, I recently got the Spyderco Native Spyderco Little Native Wharncliff, and this is it right here. Really like it. It's a small knife, but with a really good, comfy choke-up spot, forward finger choil area, so you can get a really nice full grip on it. Now, I recently, put out the unboxing for this knife, and someone in the comments was like, "Hey, that reminds me of the cold steel Toughlight," and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're totally right. It kind of is reminiscent of the Toughlight." So I decided to order one and compare them. Okay, this is not the knife. This is something I ordered for my kind of like my live stream background. This is a bunch of little plastic knife stands, kind of like little displays. I'll put a link for these down below if you guys are interested, but it's kind of cool. Just a cool way to display knives on a shelf or wherever it is. I got this whole big thing of them. I don't know how many there are, like 20 maybe, for like $10. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's perfect. I'll put them. I'll put a link to them down below if you guys feel like getting some. So this other thing must be the Toughlight. Yep, there it is. So kind of funny story about the Toughlight here. Way back when I first started collecting knives, I ordered the cold steel Toughlight. But when it arrived, I saw that it was the Toughlight Mini. Amazon had screwed me. When I went back and looked at the listing, and I saw that nowhere in the description did it say Mini, and it was a photo of the full size, so they totally got me. Or they sent me the wrong one. I don't know what happened. But this is an okay knife. It's just a little too small. I just didn't really use it that much. Action's really stiff, you can't flick it. I just didn't really like it. But this is the one that I had wanted all along, so here we go. Now, this knife is $30. This knife here is 130, 120. So, big difference. But you're obviously, you're paying up with the Spyderco for the quality of the blade steel and other stuff. But let's just see how they compare just as knives. Okay, here we are. Quite a bit bigger than the Mini. Damn. I wasn't expecting it to be that much bigger. That's quite a bit bigger. Let's see. So we have these, I don't know if it's some kind of FRN kind of plastic handles, kind of like molded plastic. Kind of a little bit of a texture on there. Yeah, this is more like it, dude. This is way more like it. Gosh, this Mini is tiny, dude. That is absolutely tiny. Wow, I wasn't expecting it to be quite this big. This is pretty nice. So yeah, very reminiscent of the Little Native. Actually bigger than the Little Native. Let's see how much cutting edge we got. Almost exactly the same. That's crazy. We have a hollow grind on the Toughlight. This is a full flat on the Little Native. We have a little bit of a sharpening choil on the Toughlight. no sharpening choil on the little native, although you could cut one in there really easily if you wanted one. Both have the hole deployments, both very similar looking wharncliff blades. Both have this, pronounced, well, this one's more pronounced, but they both have this big forward finger choil and then kind of secondary little finger groove. Much bigger on the Toughlight. Both really comfortable to choke up on. Very, very comfortable. I might even say this Toughlight is a little bit more comfortable just because it's a little bit larger and it kind of fills out your hand a little bit better. Now let's see. It's a back lock as opposed to a compression lock. So that's kind of one of the main benefits of the little native is just the ease of use, right? So easy. Pop it out, shut it. Pop it out, shut it. Super duper easy. Can I flick this? Okay, I can flick it. You can do it one-handed. Not really a good thumb flicker. But reverse flick I can do. And you can, push this back lock and let it fall and then kind of reposition and then close it. But much slower. And you really need to pay attention to what you're doing when you do it with this one. If you let this fall and if your finger's too far down this way, it'll get you. So you really got to be paying attention when you're closing with the Toughlight. Little native, you don't even have to look. Your fingers are out of the way, pull it and close it. Super easy. But very interesting, really kind of interesting. This little native was around for quite a while just as a regular leaf-shaped blade. And then they very recently came out with this wharncliff version. So nobody's copying anybody. But, two very, very similar knives. Now, on the Toughlight here, we're looking at AUS 8A blade steel, which I don't know too much about AUS 8A. I don't know what the A is. I'm kind of familiar with AUS 8, more familiar with AUS 10, but you're not really going to see very good edge retention with this. Definitely not as good as this S30V, that's for sure. I need to look on Larry Thomas's kind of a cheat sheet, knife steel cheat sheet, and see where AUS 8 is. I might actually even put it at the end of this video so that you guys can look and see. No, we'll wait and do that in the full review. I'm going to do a full review on the little native, and it might be like a full review / comparison with the Toughlight here, or maybe I'll do it separately. Either way, we'll get more into it in another video. One is Taiwan made, one is USA made in Golden, Colorado. So, that's something that you're paying out for as well. Yeah, very interesting. I think the main similarities we're looking at is the locking mechanisms. One really easy to use, one pretty easy to use, but not as easy. I don't know which is stronger. This triad lock is kind of touted as one of the strongest locking mechanisms. So it probably is stronger than the compression lock. But with a knife this small, you're really not putting it through any kind of force that would ever cause this compression lock to fail. So I don't think that's really a huge deal. Where it's made, Taiwan versus US. Blade steel, budget kind of cheaper steel versus a higher end steel. Those are kind of the main differences. Got a wire clip on this one. This one has just a regular. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that clip. Oh, and it's only, I didn't realize that. It's only a tip down pocket clip. You cannot move it back here. You could switch it left to right, but you cannot carry it tip up. So that's interesting. I wonder why. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had gotten this one way earlier, you know? I thought it was a little bigger than the mini, but I had no idea it was that much bigger. This is really comfy. Really, really comfortable. This kind of wide jimping, I don't know how I really feel about it. It is kind of grippy. Um, hmm. Yeah. One thing I didn't really like about the Mini is you can see how the edge is kind of angled up from the handle. You see that? Like you would think it would be kind of like this, but it's angled up a bit. This one is more kind of in line with the handle, which I like more. Um, yeah, it's got a nice hollow grind. Big old lanyard hole there. Much smoother than this mini one. I can't even really like get this one down one-handed. I have to use two hands. Yeah, I would say the mini, the Toughlight Mini, I would stay away from unless you're really just looking for a tiny little like razor blade with the handle, pretty much. This full size is where it's at for the Toughlight. Absolutely. Yeah. The Little Native has a much snappier detent feel, you know? It is an actual detent ball, whereas since this is a backlock, it doesn't have that. But it's just, you know, I can reverse flick it. This is way more pleasurable to reverse flick. It took a second to break in, but now it's getting really, really nice. I can really fire that thing out with a lot of force. So, yeah, interesting. There we go. This is, again, this is only about 30 bucks, so I think that's a pretty good price. You know, 30 bucks for some Os 8A and a, you know, kind of a budget Little Native wharncliff, really. Yeah, that doesn't really work for the camera. It's kind of, if it was like that, maybe. But this is kind of the channel mascot knife, since I got Duty's daggers engraved on it. I didn't know it was going to be that big, but whatever. Cool. Thanks for watching, dudes. Just a quick little unboxing. I'll link this down below if you guys are interested in the Toughlight. 30 bucks. If you kind of want to feel what the Little Native feels like before you buy it, or maybe you don't want to spend that much money on one, this is a pretty good alternative. Very good alternative. Cool. Thanks for watching, dudes. See you in the next one. Adios. Please like the video before you bounce. Later.